Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Force here with some more Hearthstone. Today we'll be taking a look at the Watcher Druid deck, a deck list I got from Ryan Bowles, who is a #2 legend on the North American ladder. It's pretty much a standard Druid control deck that's built for the current metagame of rushdown decks like the aggro hunter or warrior. We've got some early taunts thanks to Ancient Watcher or other minions, plus Sunfury Protector and Mark of the Wild, a solid mid game with cards like Chillwind Yeti, and then some of the standard utility cards like Tinkmaster Overspark and Keeper of the Grove. Now with the general premise out of the way, let's take a look at the deck in action. So if you've seen those legendary heavy control druid decks, this is basically that, but without the focus on spell power and with a greater focus on taunts. This opening hand really isn't that great. We do have the Force Roar combo, but I don't really want that early on, and these are mid to late game cards too, so I'm actually gonna dump this hand, and we'll be hoping for some more early game focus. Okay, there's the Sunfury Protector, Defender of Argus. So you can see the focus on taunt right here. So these cards in conjunction with Ancient Watcher can turn out to be very good. We can actually, next turn we can get out a Druid of the Claw, which I might actually do. Just because it's kind of funny. 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. But we could potentially see a Druid of the Claw next turn. All right, so we're playing against a Warlock. Depending on the type of Warlock that is, this could either be a favorable or an unfavorable match. A more aggro-focused Warlock, we can do pretty well against. The late game Warlock, though, is a little bit tougher. The Warlock that's all about... I think that actually is exactly what he is. I think he's running that late game Warlock deck. Should I really do this? Sure, let's just do it. I just want to do it. I just want to do it because I can. Alright, so there's our 4/6 taunt. Glorious. He's going to absorb some of the damage. He threw down. Why did he throw down an early Sunfury Protector? Well, because he sees what I'm running, and I'm guess thinking that he doesn't need that late game Sunfury Protector and preferred to have an early game 2/3. The early game 2/3 can be sort of problematic for a Druid to deal with, unless you're running, you know, Claws or Wraths, which I guess, yeah. You do see a lot of those, so maybe the transversely is really not that difficult to deal with, and you think, what the hell is this guy doing? All right, try to think about this one right here. Let's go with this, and I'm gonna hit him in the face because he does not have enough damage to kill the 4/6 outright this turn, and I can potentially Defender of Argus both of these in the upcoming turn. So yeah, really actually glad that we opened up with this hand, because having this taunt heavy focus and having that Ancient Watcher really displays what this deck is all about. Delaying that damage, getting more effective health by absorbing damage through taunters. The same way as armor works as effective health. You can think of taunters working that way as well. Alright, so now he does have enough to kill that. Luckily though, he throws away both of his taunters in the process. And we still have a taunter coming up here. Could go this way. Make him bigger. Sure, let's do that. And then next turn we can throw down another Druid of the Claw, and all of a sudden, we've taken no damage and managed to do a little bit of damage this game. So we're gonna have another 4/6 taunt. He might dump his creatures this turn. Could see some spell damage for it, but
so many possibilities.
If he drops a Soulfire, he's discarding a card. And you don't really see a lot of the other spell damage. With the exception of maybe Mortal Coil or Demon Fire, but does he really have a second Defender of Argus? Holy crap. That's crazy to me. A great thing though is he had to throw all that away at a creature that wasn't going to be attacking him anyways. That's what kind of makes me happy about that situation. So do I want to Harvest plus Sunfury or Druid? Let's go with the Druid right now. The Harvest plus Sunfury gives us 2 creatures with taunt that he can just attack into without losing his creature, because it's 2/2/3s, you see? This way, if he chooses to attack with this, he's walking into a 4/6. There's a perfect target for the Tinkmaster, and that's exactly what we will be doing. Even if it turns into a 5/5, at least it's not a Sylvanas. Ah, glorious day. And right now, I think we're just gonna go with that. Gonna kill that, and then I'm gonna hit him in the face. Game has been going very favorably for us. So as you've noticed, he is running sort of a mid-range deck, which I don't see a lot of Warlocks running mid-range, but you see either sort of the aggro focus, although that's gone out of vogue for the past few weeks. The other thing you see a lot of is the hand focus, getting big old hands and dropping down crazy late game. We can silence that, which I actually sort of like that play. Could also just hold on to this and not waste him right now. Now let's actually, I'm gonna go with the 2 damage. I'm gonna choose to lose a single creature instead of 2. I'm gonna go ahead and kill those. And then we're gonna hope for some card draw with our Nat. Yeah, buddy, we got it. There's a swipe, that is nice. And now all of a sudden, we got a potential to do some big damage. 2, 4, 6, 8, plus another 8, that's 16 damage sitting in play. And that's, actually no, we don't have the board to do that. I don't think we can get all 3 of these guys in play. I think we can only summon 2 right now. Well, actually, never mind, we've got this. Double swipe, and the victory. So playing against a mid-range Warlock deck, we got that win. Let's take a look at the deck list. The Watcher Control Druid deck, as I mentioned, basically one of those legendary heavy control Druid decks, but with a focus on taunt. Starting with 2 Innervates, we've got the inclusion of a Mark of the Wild. Can be very, very effective on multiple early game cards like the Ancient Watcher, Nat, even a Harvest Golem. I mean, the Mark can really help you buy some time against early game rush. The Wrath, just an amazing card, 3 damage or 1 plus a card draw. The inclusion of Ancient Watcher, again, plus taunt things like Mark of the Wild and Sunfury Protector and Defender of Argus help you deal with those rushdown decks, or a mid-range deck like we saw against that Warlock Nat, because it's decent card draw, and since Novice Engineer kind of sucks now, there you go. Sunfury Protector for taunt for our minions. Savage Roar, this is used in conjunction for the most effect with Force of Nature, which is huge damage. If you've got nothing else in play, this is 4 plus 8, 12, 14 damage guaranteed. So you get these 3 2/2s. They all get +2/+2, and then your hero gets +2 attacks. So that's 14 damage, even if you have no other minions in play. It's a really great combo. This is used specifically for the mirror matchup against another control druid who may be not running this taunt-heavy focus. Harvest Golem, because it's value. Tinkmaster, a great utility, obviously, against a Sylvanas, against a Rag, against any of those big creatures. Swipe just works, and there's no reason not to have it. Chillwind Yeti, a very solid mid-game card we're seeing a lot more of nowadays. It sort of wasn't around for a while, but it's made a resurgence because it's immune to silence, and it's a solid body at a 4/5 for 4. Defender of Argus, used with Chillwind Yeti, used with the Ancient Watcher, even used on a Nat to give you some nice early game taunt. Keeper, because it's utility or damage and the silence, +2 damage. Druid of the Claw, again, no reason not to have it in a Druid deck. Force of Nature, again, that combo with Savage Roar. Even without Force of Nature, Savage Roar can work well, and vice versa. Force of Nature by itself is pretty decent. The Bloodhoof, because value, 4/5 times 2. The Black Knight to deal with opposing taunts. Ancient of Lore, primarily for card draw, sometimes for health, depending on the deck you're playing against. And then Ragnaros. Now, the original deck list of this included Cenarius. I found that in the late game, I'm not necessarily in a position where I need those taunts so much from Cenarius, so I prefer to have Ragnaros, but you can do either or. And there you go, guys. That is the deck list here. Stay tuned for some gameplay and a follow-up video that should be coming out tomorrow, and we'll take this deck through its paces by playing a few games. Thanks so much for watching. If you like the content, please subscribe, and as always, keep watching and keep owning.